The St. Thomas Lions Club held their 50th anniversary at the Whisper and Bamboo Cove in Retreat St. Thomas. The guest speaker was the Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Sykes, CD, OJ, Chief Justice of Jamaica.
I know you don't always come to a banquet at 3 o'clock. This is St. Thomas, and things are different here. My name is Lan Eroli, and I am your co-host for the function this afternoon. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce the young lady who will be accompanying me at the microphone, master of ceremonies duties. She's not a lion, but she is definitely lion-hearted. So help me welcome Norma Brown Bell.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and it's our privilege.
We thank you for the vision of those who founded this club, for the faithfulness of those who have sustained it, and for the courage of those who continue its mission today. Lord, we ask your divine presence to rest upon this banquet, upon every person gathered here, and upon the proceedings of this evening. May this celebration not only mark a milestone, but inspire continued service with integrity, compassion, and excellence. Bless the leadership of the club, both past and present. May their hands remain strong in service, their hearts steadfast in purpose, and their lives enriched by the joy of giving. We ask a special blessing on our distinguished guest speaker this evening, the Honorable Chief Justice Brian Sykes. May his words enlighten, inspire, and challenge us to greater acts of justice, equity, and nation building. Bless the food prepared for us, the fellowship we share, and may this evening glorify you as we honor the legacy of service that the Lions Club represents. This we pray through your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
And Lions pray.
Lions means be present, Lord, to let our hearts in one accord. To do thy will, Lord, make us strong, to aid the weak and right the wrong.
And while you are standing, I'll invite Lion Monterey Malcolm to come and do the Lions Code of Ethics.
Lions Code of Ethics. To show my faith in the worthiness of my vocation by industrious application to the end that I may merit a reputation for quality of service. To seek success and to demand all fair remuneration or profit as my just due, but to accept no profit or success at the price of my own self-respect, lost because of unfair advantage taken, or because of questionable acts on my part. To remember that in building up my business, it is not necessary to tear down another's, to be loyal to my clients or customers, and true to myself. Whenever a doubt arises as to the right or ethics of my position or action towards others, to resolve such doubt against myself. To hold friendship as an end and not a means. to hold that true friendship exists not on account of the service performed by one to another, but that true friendship demands nothing but accept service in the spirit in which it is given. Always to bear in mind my obligation as a citizen to my nation, my state, and my community, and to give them my unswerving loyalty in word, act, and deed, to give them freely of my time, labor, and needs, to aid others by giving my sympathy to those in distress, my aid to the weak, and my substance to the needy, to be careful with my criticism, and liberal with my praise, to build up and not destroy.
Thank you. Thank you, Lion Monterey. You may be seated. It's a major milestone, and as one Portland lad was heard to comment earlier, he had to be here because it will never happen again. And so, it goes without saying that those of us who are here are having a once in a lifetime experience. Before we have the roll call, I'm going to invite Lion President Rupert Scott, President of Lions Club of St. Thomas, to officially welcome us to this function.
Thank you, Joe. Give you a warm St. Thomas welcome. This is the 50th anniversary of the Lions Club of St. Thomas. We're not going to celebrate 50 years. Right now. Next year will not be 50 years. So we are here now and we are enjoying this 50th year celebration. It is a combination of people activity. First we had our church service on the 18th at the Anglican Church in Morant. Secondly, we had our health fair at the Lions Den on the 21st. And we had the health services there. And this will sort of look out for people of St. Thomas to see how we could make them healthier and more vital in their lives. And so, let me first welcome our customers and who are first citizen of St. Thomas. The Honorable Mrs. Marcia Bennett, CDP. Our Chief Justice, the Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Silas. CDOJ, Chief Justice of Jamaica. We also have with us our past Council Chairman. We have Lion Isaac McCullough. We have also past District Governor Lion Dennis Forrest, past Council Chairman, District Governor. We have with us our region chair, Michelle McIntosh Harvey. We have our zone chair, Lion King. We also have with us now present former Member of Parliament for the Parish of St. Thomas, Dr. Benton Ferguson. We have very distinguished Lions present here, presidents and past presidents of clubs here, and we certainly past region chairs, past zone chairs, they are all here to celebrate with us today. And we feel very honored to have them in our presence. I must say that we are blessed to have a good shining day today. It is God's blessing, and we hope and we know that this is a day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let me just say that in welcoming you, I know that a number of persons do not come from the Kingston area, and I know that the road is much better now, because in the past I've heard the complaints First, as I was been saying, I'm looking at boy. When I come to Center, I was afraid because of the road. But we can safely say that the rival war is getting much bigger than it is. That was in the past. I also want to welcome our two charter members from the Dance of St. Thomas, Dan Paul Marshall and Dan Nathan Budai. 50 years of service. And I could not have left him out than the only past district governor. So and I also want to welcome the members of the National Center who are here because we have stood the test of time. We are here after 50 years. So we welcome all the members of the National Center. And we also welcome all the other members of the various clubs who are here today, who are here and they are celebrating with us in a fine way today. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with these few words. All right. May the Lord bless you all and keep you in good peace. Thank you very much.
What happened to those who wondered why the past council chairman pointed out to the president that he was leaving the past district governor off of his list of welcome? It's because he was trying to save him some money. Because this past district governor is also a member of Tail Twisters Anonymous. And our mission is to extract money from lions who commit, minor infractions, such as forgetting people like me. But then, President, I assure you, you're going to pay anyway. There shall be no escape. We're going to have a roll call. Now let me explain to those who are not familiar with this. We do not eat with strangers. Absolutely not. We must know who is at our table. It's one of our customs in the dance movement. So, although you might find it quaint, I assure you it will make you feel much more comfortable and relaxed after we have this little aspect of our gathering. So we're going to ask each table to choose one person who will do the introductions, and that person will say who they're eating with, and the rest of us will listen and take note. If you have to hear the name that you know should not be here, please make a note of it and tell me. Right? But we have security here. I understand that the Chief Justice came with 4. Right, sir? At least, okay. So we have security here. And if there's anybody here who is trying to do anything that's, not permitted or you just don't like your face, we will escort you out. So we're going to begin with our introductions. And we start with our table on the far left. Well, let me first introduce the prominent table, because these persons, you might have heard them being introduced before, but you need to know who they are. So when I call your name on the prominent table, please stand and take a bow. Starting with the Chief Justice of Jamaica, who is our guest speaker today. Please stand, sir. Next, we'll have the smallest person at the table, who is a past council chair, a past cabinet, a past district governor, and also a past council chair. So please stand and Denise and give her. And Isaac, who was trying to say the president, please stand. And Michelle McIntosh, our region chair, and she's in charge of us today. And of course, land president, who's going to pay all that money later on. And Kim Chin, who is the zone chair for Zone 4B, to do the introductions of the state.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. My table, could you be upstanding, please? Seated with me. Right, seated with me, starting with the lovely lady. We have Dr. Eileen White, Paz Leo. Beside her, we have Dr. Clayton Ferguson, honorary member of the Lions Club of Portmore. Then we have Mr. Henry Shirley. And our co-master of ceremony, Norma Brown, and I am Norma Brown there. I am Glenn Kitchen, zone chairman, 4B, past president, Lions Club of Portmore.
Okay, now I am sorry that this is not a cordless microphone, so we're stuck in this territory here, in this space. But if you think you can project, I'm going to ask the table on the far left, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Protocol of Work. I am Lion Berger from St. Thomas Lions Club. My table people is Mr. Rory Ashley.
Alright, so I have here around my table Mr. Patrick McFarlane, Miss Paula McFarlane, children of Lion Carmen McFarlane, Tamer, and we have Lion Cynthia Owell, and also Lion Craig S, past member of the St. Thomas, past president, sorry, of the St. Thomas, Michelle and member of the Lions Club of St. Thomas.
Not remember the table, that's the person who spoke. And Michelle, when you call a person a past member, you know what you're doing? Huh? If he ever leaves the club, because of you. So I won't charge you today. Special occasion.
To my right, I have the family of Lion Wayne, Leo Kiandra, and
Better enough.
Sean. We have Dwayne, Lion Dwayne, who is Peter Gates, Lion Peter Gates' husband, Peter Gates outside. And then we have Lion Kareem and her husband, Mr. Francis. And here we have landlord Stephanie, Custis Rule. And I am Lawyer McDonald Reed, current Secretary of the City Council.
She's treasurer.
She's collected.
Okay, very important person.
Good afternoon, everyone. First Vice President. Morant again. Second Vice President. And the second, Her Honor, Sahayati Maxwell, Parish Judge, St. Thomas. And I will take this President to have, beside her, that is Honor, Mr. Courtney Maxwell, Parish Judge, Corporate Area. Madam Tobin, she's a real advisor, St. Thomas Lions. And of course myself, I'm Lion Charlie Henry, St. Thomas Lions, but I am the first VP for this Lions here and the incoming president for the next year.
Very well done. Infraction. You know you have to do something wrong, right? You know that, right? You agree with me? She doesn't agree with me. You were reading about yourself? I call that security. Yes. You were making sure you didn't. Yes. Okay. So yes, and for the lines in the room are accustomed to what we just went through, but I'm sure the guests now realize why we have done it, and you feel much better knowing who you're having dinner with. So we're going to be entertained during dinner, and well, while they're setting up the entertainment, let me tell you everything. We are taught to be humble. Humility is very important to us, because if you think you're, whatever you think you are, chances are you might, be in for a rude awakening. So, 5 persons are traveling on a small aeroplane. And the aeroplane develops some serious problems. It is going to crash. There are 4 parachutes on the plane. First, very important person grabs one of the parachutes, says, I'm a preacher. The Lord needs me to save souls. So they put on the parachute and out the hatch, preacher's up. Then there's this very important industrialist. He says, I'm responsible for giving jobs to all these hundreds and thousands of people, and my company needs me to manufacture good, whatever. He puts a good argument for it, puts on a parachute and jumps. So, you counting with me now? How many parachutes left? 2. But how many people in the plane? 3. Oh, say what? 2 gone. Okay. So, the next most important person says, well, I'm a politician, and I represent a lot of people, so it's quite political voice. You know that voice, huh? He does political voice and says, I can't stick around. I gotta save my constituents. Parliament to attend and so on. And he jumps. And then there's one parachute left. And the person there is like president of a university. He says, I educate people. What would the world do without me? So how many parachutes left? 1. So he looks at the person next to him, with a student, and he says, boy, this is hard enough to leave you, but I think maybe, the world needs me more. The guy looks at him and said, don't worry, sir. The politician took my knapsack. So, don't need to pick on the politician, but yes. There's some people somewhere wishing that a certain politician would take a knapsack. And the world would be a better place. Less tariffs. Anyway, enjoy your lunch, your meal, yes, and we'll be entertained, and we will resume our interaction later on. And Paul? Yeah, we're gonna have you do the history of the club while we get going with the serving of the meal. Make him feel welcome, man. Paul Margaret.
Augustus and Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Moses Thanks. Lions, viewers, and friends. The history of our club. In 1975, a group of community-minded men in St. Thomas involved in sports, religion, and business came together to discuss the establishment of a service club. It happened at Kelly's Cocktail Lounge, Lido Independent, St. Thomas. Several persons were invited to the meeting, and soon after they started having monthly meetings. Guided by Lion Bernard Quinlan of the Lions Club of Kingston, believe he was district governor at the time. In May of 1975, after several meetings and visits to the Lions Club of Kingston, Lion William Bill Bennett was elected to chair the meeting on the 22nd of May 1975. He was elected charter president. Byron Cox was secretary. Paul Marshall was treasurer. Trevor Blake was VP. Roy McNeil, second VP. C. Teddy Randall, third VP. Lion Tamer was Doral Kelly. Tail Twister was Gilbert Davidson. One-year directors, Laban Binney, Laban Binney, sorry. Stan Quinlan. Two-year directors were William Higgins, E.B. Shepherd, Reverend E.B. On the 19th of June, 1975, the Lions Club of St. Thomas received a charter with 33 members from District Governor Lion Bernard Quinlan. The Master of Summit at that function was Lion William Bill Gentles of the Kingston Club. Guest speaker was His Excellency the Governor General, the Most Honorable Florizel Gaspaster. Following persons had the distinction of being named charter members: Walford Daly, Darwin Boyd, Nathan Budai, Noel Davis, Dr. Donovan Ford, Reverend Javon Jengles, Alvin Howell, Bertie Howell, Leonard Lewis, Gilbert Murray, Ronald Mackenzie, Godfrey Rambulam, Charlton Reed, Leonard Saunders, Gerald Silvera, C.D. Spence, Owen Spencer, Lawrence Telfer, Clive Young, and Robbie Scott. Membership of the club increased to 52. 52 members ignited a passion in membership to serve in the early years. Persons who sought assistance were primarily in site care, education, and were assisted by the club. Dr. C. Mani, ophthalmologist who came from India, did significant work in site conservation and is acknowledged as an important part. The club was instrumental in the charter of the original Lions Club of Portland with over 29 members and the formation of a Leo Club. The club also sponsored the Lioness Club of St. Thomas, and also the Leo Club of St. Thomas. Lion William Bill Bennett, Charter President, had the honor of serving as District Governor, multiple trainer for District 60, Zone Chairman, Region Chairman for District 60B, among other major offices. District Governor Lion Bill Bennett was known for his effective workshops in leadership, protocol, and punctuality. Lion Gilbert Davidson also served as Zone Chairman, but sadly passed while he was in office. Lion Marcel Bennett also served as Activities Chair in the Cabinet of District Governor Herbert Edwards. The club has done significant work over the years, including the construction of several bush shelters and the building of several indigent homes, and the sponsoring of several students to high schools and college. The latter was small but important for the development of others, providing them with the gift of career opportunities, which enable them to change our communities, Jamaica, and the world. I would classify the work done by the athletic clinic is recognized as very significant. The clinic provided services in parish, in foot care, ECG, eye clinics, blood pressure checks, and the service of a medical doctor to see patients. The organization of risk to sight and the restoration of sight for anyone is the most worldly accomplished and is credit goes to that. The club also partnered with the parish infirmary, providing monthly meals prepared by the Lions. Conducting health clinics in site observation is priceless. This was done in partnership with the Canadian Vision Care for over 40 years. Food packages were donated in the early years, long before care package donation became widespread in Jamaica. Our legacy is not built in a day, it's built daily. We can see that what we have accomplished in 50 years has changed lives. Throughout our lives, we made important decisions. The decision to join the Lions Club was a good one. This allowed us to build relationships, have lifelong friends, team, and learn how we can accomplish more together. Helping someone in need is aimed at making that person's life worthwhile. No dollar value can be placed in collaborating with children or seniors. The stream of our new members has not dried up, and we are expecting members to continue to serve. It must be noted that though the COVID-19 was affected by the club, affected our club, and in-house meetings, we have also experienced the transition of many of us our leaders. We salute those we have lost on the journey, and and we are grateful for those who are still with us. Today we proudly honor and Paul Marshall and Nathan Bullard for 50 years commitment and dedicated service. If people knew the work of Lions and Leos that we do and the tremendous satisfaction gained, personal joy and aligned to serve the Lions Club. In our 50 years of service, from 1975 to 2025, we have had 31 men and women dedicated their lives to serve as club presidents. In the worthwhile charitable in our worthwhile charitable outreach, seeking to meet our community needs and serving others has helped in making the world a better place and has changed many lives, including our lives. As we celebrate this significant accomplishment of 50 years and look forward to another 50 years, we thank God for how He has guided us. We thank God for the vision of Milton Jones and those who started this club. As their decision have influenced millions and made all of us better individuals. Thanks.
Representing several persons, maybe that's why I'm so big. The district governor, Alan Alexander, Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. I also represent the Region 4, which for those of us who are not Lions, includes the half of Jamaica, the eastern half of Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands. And I also take the liberty of representing the Lions Club of Kingston, who are the parents and sponsors for St. Thomas. And so we congratulate you. We congratulate the club for the perseverance. We congratulate you for all the hard work that you have done over the years and the mark that you're making in your communities. I know it has not been an easy road, but no service club can say that we go through an easy road. But your dedication, your work is unmatched. And I say congratulations on behalf of all of the persons who I represent. And I give my personal congratulations because I have become a part of the family. I consider myself a part of the family. And so I give my personal congratulations to the club. Lion Paul, Lion Nathan, congratulations. And really, to be able to give 50 years of unbroken service every day is outstanding. And I really would want to, if we had our glasses, raise a toast to both of you, because if you could stand while we just raise that toast. I raise this toast to both of you for your outstanding work. And I know that you're still very, very active even after 40 years. I'm checking that you're listening. It's unmatched, unparalleled, and so we thank you. Thank you.
See, that mission is a true Lion. She knows she had to find a way to contribute to the care system. Right? And so that's why she did the work. Yeah? Right, Michelle?
Yes, that's right.
Of course. The other reason is because 50 years seems unbelievable. You associate 50 years of service with people who can't get up. You can't burn up and down like. It also says that you must start young. So if there's any Leo here or Leo Lion or any young person who's thinking of waiting till you become 30 to join Lions Club, don't wait. Right? Then we can tell them about it. Yes. Yeah. You can start at 18. Yeah. Get up? Yes. So you can, you're never too young to start. I mean, look at me. I'm I'm 42 years old. 42 years. Yeah. So, you know, I'm an example of when you must start. Start when you can energize and activate and everything. Entertainment is ready? Yes? Okay. So that means it's time to enjoy our meal and get ready for the main event.
It is with a deep sense of pride and gratitude that I stand before you on this momentous occasion, the 50th anniversary celebration of the Lions Club of St. Thomas. For half a century, this club has been a beacon of service, leadership, and compassion in our parish and beyond, impacting lives and transforming communities through selfless giving and unwavering commitment. As we celebrate this golden milestone, we are privileged to be joined this evening by a man whose life and leadership reflect many of the same values we hold dear as Lions: integrity, vision, accountability, and service to humanity. Our distinguished guest speaker is none other than the Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Sykes, OJ, CD, Chief Justice of Jamaica. Justice Sykes is a jurist of remarkable distinction, a graduate of the University of the West Indies and the Norman Manley Law School. He was called to the Jamaican bar in 1981. Over the years, he has served the judiciary with exceptional diligence and honor, ascending through the ranks as a prosecutor, puisne judge, and eventually to the esteemed office of Chief Justice of Jamaica in 2018. Under his leadership, the Jamaican judiciary has embarked on a path of modernization and reform, prioritizing transparency, efficiency, and timely delivery of justice. He is an outspoken advocate for greater accountability in the justice system and has championed initiatives to make the courts more accessible and effective for all Jamaicans. But beyond the robe and the bench, Chief Justice Sykes is known for his sharp intellect, principled leadership, and his quiet, but powerful determination to see our nation rise to its fullest potential. Tonight we are indeed honored to hear from a son of the soil whose service to country stands as a testament to what is possible when excellence meets purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm round of welcome to our guest speaker, the Honorable Mr. Brian Sykes, Chief Justice of the Union.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me adopt the protocol established much earlier in the program, and I will simply recognize as well the posters for my judicial colleagues. To my right is Honorable Mr. Court Maxwell, the Public Works in Kingston, and his wife, Mrs. Irene Maxwell, Girl of the Parish Court for the Parish of St. Thomas. It's good to see them here. Let me also congratulate you on 50 years of service, not just to St. Thomas, but to the people of Jamaica and to the wider community. And so the work that you have been doing is indeed quite remarkable. It's one of service and one in which you have had an impact and continue to have an impact on the lives of many citizens in this parish. Might I ask by a show of hands how many persons here are justices of the peace? Yeah, well, you may wish to consider becoming justices of the peace, since the ethics and qualities required of a lion would make you a suitable candidate to be justices of the peace, and in that way you would have even greater impact, because justices of the peace are a critical part of the administration of justice in Jamaica. So for example, you would be among the first persons who may come in contact with persons arrested by the police. You might want to, well, yes, because the police may ask you to come because it is said that the person may wish to confess or to give a statement and so on. And so you play a vital and critical role that the justice of the peace that is in that regard. In addition to that, I would ask again how many persons here are trained mediators. So by a show of hands, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And what about the restorative justice initiative? How many of you are trained in that? 1. Yes, so I would urge you to think about taking on, thank you very much, the additional task of becoming trained mediators. And this is important because no legal system can try every single case that comes to court. And in fact, many of the cases really don't need to come to court if persons were able to resolve the issues before it got to the stage of the police. And so I would urge you to consider taking on that role. You will find it very rewarding. And as far as the restorative justice is concerned, it is based upon the idea, as the name suggests, getting the parties to a point where the person who has done the wrong recognizes not just that he or she has done wrong, but the impact that it has had, and crucially, how amends can be made. And this is particularly important in rural parishes, where a lot of the criminal cases that come before the court, the parties are actually removed from the same community. And what the restorative justice program is about is resolving the issue without it going on to the stage of a trial. Though I'm a lawyer, yes, and I enjoy doing trials, but I have to recognize that there are limitations to trials. Because when you have a trial, you don't have a draw. You must have a winner, you must have a loser. So the judge can't say, boy, both sides are equal, so you go your way. The judge has to make a decision one way or the other. But what the trials do is that it tends to exacerbate the underlying tension, because it is now, it may involve calling persons liars, calling them dishonest, telling them that they are rascals, and so on. And the language that is conducive to settling the dispute. So the restorative justice is designed to divert the person out of that trial process into an actual circle, because with the restorative justice program is an actual circle. And the offender and the offending are part of that circle along with other persons, and they get to speak about the impact that it has had, that the offending person gets to speak about the impact that it has had on them, and so on. And then you see about how to accept responsibility. How can I make this right? And so you begin to, if not restore the relationship, but ensure that it does not deteriorate any further. And in rural communities, when you have a trial, especially if the judge sends the person off to prison, regardless of how long or short it is, the person is eventually going to come out and go back into the same community. And then chances are that they see the person who, in their view, cause them to go to prison walking along the road. And might have simply said that I need to do something about this. So the restorative justice program is a way of managing the emotions in an appropriate way, so that they don't have an escalation of the circumstances. So I encourage members of the Lions Club, not just from Kingston, but not from Denton, but from all over Jamaica, to become part of this program. Now, I'm fully aware that it is now 19 minutes past 6. And when I saw that the program began at 3:30, I came to the conclusion that there might be concern about the demographics of the persons who were attending. And so that suggested to me that my speech need not and could not be very long. And I also suspect that, but for the slight delay that we had, the function will be coming to an end sometime around now. So, with all of that in mind, I will make a few brief remarks. And just before I do that, I wish to add my congratulations to Mr. Paul Marshall and Mr. Nathan Bunai. 50 years to be a part of an organization making the contribution. But who does volunteer work knows that it's not easy. And when you are sticking with it all this time, that is more than ordinary commitment, and it shows a passion for service, and it is something that is really quite extraordinary. And so I congratulate both of you for providing that kind of leadership and guidance in the parish of St. Thomas. Now, Was it on the 15th of March? That's when it was here. 15th of March. Yes. Over at the, what do you call it? May 15th. May 15th. Over by the, for those of us who are old enough, it would be a factory. And located over there is the port. A new port. Not yet open, but substantially complete. And it is due to be opened very soon. And so what should the port symbolize, in addition to it being one of the symbols of our authority and representation of law and order, I think it should also represent something new in terms of its operations and in terms of the services that it delivers. One of the things about ports is this, and President Shindana, I say this, until the latter part of the 20th century, ports were not really concerned about efficiency and service delivery. There's nothing in a lawyer's training that prepares the lawyer to manage ports. So when you come in to high school, when you might campaign at the Brown kid, and you go to the University of West Indies, you go to the law school, see you're doing somewhere between, depending on the enter, between 23 and 26 years old. And you come into your career, and at that point you wish to become an excellent lawyer, whatever area you choose. And at some point when you get to around 35, 40 years old, thoughts begin to occur to you that I may want to be a judge. Maybe it occurred to you before, but at the end of the day, because the Supreme Court that is 10 years minimum according to the law, but in reality, and 20 years. And those 7 years according to the law, usually somewhere around 10 years or so. And then you may apply your selected time. Here you are, newly minted judge on the bench. Up to that point, nothing about leadership training, management of persons and processes and procedures and so on. And so the real truth is that courts generally could really be inefficient. It might come to you as a surprising statement, for the simple reason that judges did not have that training. So the real surprise is that you actually got anything out of the courts at all. That should be the real surprise. And so, backlog is actually the norm among courts, not in Jamaica anymore, we're getting away from that, but generally across the world. One of the primary complaints regarding court is how long it takes for cases to get through from filing to disposition. Constant complaints. And the United States was one of the first countries that started to look seriously at this whole question of court efficiency. And not surprisingly, in their free enterprise system, they came up with the idea of plea bargaining around the mid-1800s. And so in their system, over 90% of cases at the federal level are settled by plea bargaining. And the number of cases I've said is an integral part of their system because the same people don't have the resources to try every single case and no legal system has that capacity. So the question is now, what do we do here in Jamaica? So that is why we became members of the International Consortium for Court Excellence. Why we are part of that body? That body is striving to develop international standards for efficient courts. And they have developed what is called International Framework for Court Excellence. And that is what we have adopted. Why am I telling you all of this? I'm telling you all of this so that you can rightly celebrate with us that our parish boards are backlog free. So only set of course at that level within the region, the Caribbean region, some concept that that's actually backlog free. I never achieved before. So at page 8, and I urge you to look at it if you have your smartphones, you should participate by taking it out, do some data, and you type in International Framework for Excellence. It's a PDF document, it opens, and when you open it, you go to page 8. It says, the journey to port excellence is one of continuous improvement achieved through optimal internal organization of the ports, strong leadership, clear port policies and strategies, resource management, effective and efficient port operations, high quality and reliable port performance data, and a high level of public trust. Quite a mouthful. So that is what we have embarked on. So how are we going to be doing this, and how did we come to be in a state where the parish courts are backlog free? So in 2019, we developed a strategic plan, never done before in Jamaica, and I guarantee you that if you go onto Google, Bing, you whatever search engine you want, and you type in strategic plan for ports, you're not going to see very many. There really are. Perhaps at most 50, perhaps 60, certainly not 100. And there's a reason for this again. It has to do with how ports developed historically, where efficiency was not high on the agenda of ports. So in Jamaica, we have sought to change all of that. And so that is why we adopted, for those people in business, heard of the balance scorecard? Yes? Yes. Right. So we use the balance scorecard methodology. And what is the balance scorecard all about? It's a tool used that we have used to give effect to the concept of continuous improvement. So there are 4 dimensions to it. The organizational capacity, internal processes, financial stewardship, stakeholder satisfaction. So we have spent a fair amount of time building the capacity of the courts to deliver efficient legal services, because there's hardly any point, I would think, of having a situation which used to be the norm in the past, but maybe we have that now, but that if you need to be, where the judge would try to hear the processes would be fair, everybody had their say, the judgments were there, but by the time the judgment came, the judge were perhaps dead, people would take advantage of it, so it was a very violent through them. And so we have taken all the business of efficiency very seriously. So when you read the book about chief statistician or consultant statistician, Dr. Davis, one of the primary reasons for the parish court being backlog free and giving the body the opportunity to know what it is. Primary cause, main cause of the efficiency in the parish courts. Okay? What was that?
Restorative justice.
What? Restorative justice? Yes. I wanted it one sure. Yes. Somebody says technology? Technology? Yes. What else?
Look, inadequate judges.
So, I tell you, the primary factor is the productivity of the judges.
Yes.
Virtually no technology was introduced into the courts. No new technology, great to speak of. Because technology that was introduced didn't have that impact. But when they talk about increased efficiency, there's some simple things. Insisting that court starts at 10 o'clock. Setting no more cases that they can get through for the day. Insisting that when matters are set down, they go on. Just things like those. And so you began to see the turnaround. And so the parish courts achieved being backlogged for 2 years ahead of schedule. So that is where we are. But to sustain that, institutionalizing what we learned between 2019 and now. So in another 2 weeks, we are to commence dialogue now in establishing training program for the leadership core of the courts. So, senior judges of the parish court, the chief justices, president of the court of appeal, registrars and so on now will now have to be properly trained to continue and build upon the gains that we have here, because it is not unknown, it has happened in the United States, that courts have come out of backlog and everybody was getting congratulated and they have done so well, and then the courts get back in backlog. It is going to happen. So, what it is then that we'll be aiming for, this is right. I'm explaining this to you so you can know this about. When we look at our vision statement, it speaks to a world-class judiciary utilizing innovation and technology for efficient service delivery. How are we going to moving towards that? Sustaining what we have and improving it. How are we going to do that? Through training, effective execution, we also have to have the quantitative part of it. And so for you now, what does that mean? It means, so let us make a distinction between net backlog, gross backlog. Net backlog refers to active cases, gross backlog, active plus inactive. And there's actually a statistical measure, a metric for that. So for world-class courts, your net backlog is no more than 5% of your active case load. So it's under 5%. And for gross backlog, your backlog is less than 10% of your active plus inactive case load. So we're talking about a world-class system. That is where we have to be. Now, as far as the parish courts are concerned, would you believe that they are already there? That is why we can say that they are backlogs. In fact, for the parish courts, the civil, criminal, and the family courts, they are not just under 5%, but actually under 3%. So it's under 3% of active cases are in backlog. Criminal, civil, and family in our parish courts. Again, a remarkable achievement. Primary factor being productivity of judges, not technology. This is not to say that we did not use technology, but primary factor has been the productivity of the judges. Now, when we started this journey in 2019, and since then the persons have said that all the chief justices are only concerned about numbers. But the numbers are important because it gives a sense of the quality of justice. Because if the justice is delayed for too long, it doesn't matter how smart the judge is, it doesn't matter how efficient the trial and fair trial, if it takes too long, then the anticipated benefit of the judgment will be lost. So let's just take a simple person injury. When I say simple, I do not mean unimportant, uncomplicated person injury. So the person is injured, say, in last year, 2024, they have reached the maximum medical recovery. The insurance person here. Yes? No? no serious disability, and the person sues to file the claim. If it takes 7 years to get a trial, even if you are successful, you have inflation, evaluation, medical bills, and all of those things at the time. That is so long. It's already consumed. So this is why time standards are important. Another reason why time standards are important is that it's an effective anti-corruption device. How so? When a court has a time standard, there's no personal injury, uncomplicated, supposed to finish in 24 months. So in the parish court, we're now saying 20 months. Right? It means that we have to organize our internal processes and manage the process to get it done in that time. One of the famous questions every Jamaican has asked, whenever they can't get through the institutions, what is that famous? Everybody here, I'm sure, has asked it at some point. Everybody here has asked it. Why do we ask that question? Because the service is not coming at the anticipated time, within the anticipated time. And that is one of the things we want to get rid of our court system and really our Jamaica. Because that is one of the primary differences between developed and developing countries. They are not smarter than us by any means. It is that the processes work more often than not for ordinary people. And that is what we have to do to improve our governance generally and for people interacting with our court system. So that is why we use data. So when we say 24 months for the court of appeal and the Supreme Court of Judgment to get home, because a number of things. We are saying that when a person files a case there or an appeal there, they can know the date that the judgment is to be delivered, the latest date, and that is the outer limit. You can now plan your resources to engage in the process. Yes? And you don't have to ask that famous Jamaican question if you know anybody. Because there is a time standard. And to reinforce that, we have started since last year on the part of ISO 9001 certification. So when we accomplish that, I think we know the first court system within the region. And when I say region, just the Caribbean region, but I think Latin America as well, to be ISO certified. So we are saying to you that we are in the business of reforming our court system to deliver efficient, effective, and timely legal services. That is what every single Jamaican deserves. It's their right to have an efficient legal system. And that is what we are committed to. So, with the training of the leadership core of the courts, with the ISO 9001 certification, utilizing the balance scorecard methodology. Over time, as we go along, we should see further improvements. And so when the anticipated technology for some time now comes into the board, you should see even greater productivity and efficiency so that you have a world-class legal system that you deserve and of which you can be justly proud. So as I indicated, I am standing between the cutting of the cake and the award and recognition. And so I close my remarks by again congratulating you on your 50 years of service and to say that we wish to join you to the commitment to serving our people. And what I outlined here, just many things that we are doing to emulate the standards of the Lions Club of Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Yes, because I remember when you came to the job as chief justice, one of your early pronouncements had to be clearing this background and doing certain things. You have now demonstrated to us, I would say, the country, that you have achieved or you're on that road. With this kind of performance, high efficiency, and achievement tied to the quality of pay that the judiciary would demand.
Well, let me put it this way. Those improvements actually started well before any significant increase in pay. And what I will say is that a judiciary, when you decide to become a judge, you have decided I want to serve. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paid, but your primary motivation is to serve. And I don't know whether a judge could be a millionaire. If that means in the United States by being a judge. So it means that you have decided that you have what the Lions Club is about, service. And so that linking the two, of course, every judge will want to be well paid, but that is not primary motivation.
No, I am saying yes. It is not, I am seeing it as a figure for the country. Because essentially, if you look at the institutions of government that we would regard as our best performance, NHP, National Health Fund, you recognize that it significantly cuts corruption. Because if you want to get to that lying mentality, you no longer can look to someone to do something or in order to get the birth certificate or any other thing. So I believe that when you introduce this standard, it's not happening by accident. Because I think all the institutions are attempting training, attempting this. But I also want to make the point that leadership matters. At the end of it, whether it's private or public, once you bring to the table the kind of leadership that will give you these kinds of outcomes, you will see less and less the respectability within our institutions to grow. And I personally want to congratulate you, sir, and your team for the leadership you have brought to the team and the outcomes.
I think Lion Fenton don't realize that he's a lion. He is a lion. Therefore, we can find him for being a second guest speaker. So, Fenton, you say, we will not find this today. You did. Oh, yes, sir. I know we'll get it. Okay, so we're now going to have the loyal toast. While the Chief Justice was delivering his keynote address, you were served some wine. Oh, raise your hand, those of you who still have wine in your glass. You may participate in the toast line. And Isaac Mashara, Professor Melvin Jones Fellow, will lead us in the toast.
Thank you, Master Sergeant, Master Thank you. Distinguished guests, are there any ladies here? No?
Yes.
My lands, brothers and sisters, please be upstanding. Raise your glasses and join me in a toast to the King. The Lions Club International. The members of the Lions Club of St. Thomas. All the persons who have been standing, join me in a toast to Chris Kefanifer, the Lions Club of St. Thomas. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have waited for this moment. At the moment, we have arrived at on our program the cutting of the cake. Those persons responsible, will you please come forward? And the cake will be next to the persons responsible, and the community that we are assisting. So, there's a lot of work going on. I want to thank Mr. Leonard.
They're not here tonight. Go again, like 1, 2, 3.
I guess persons will be able to share.
You have your team lined up for the awards. You want to go? Land Paul, come here, don't ever work in the master. Don't worry. That's what happens when you celebrate 50 and you're still on your feet. Madam President, would you like to come and explain what's happening here?
Given superb service for 50 years to the last case. First of all, Dan Paul Marshall. Past District Governor, past House Chair, represent Dan Paul Marshall with his award. This is for 50 years of sterling service to the Lions Club St. Thomas. This is the award. The second award goes to Lion Nathan, another charter member. I was serving for 50 years. And we asked him sterling service to the Lions Club of St. Thomas. And this is and our third award is to our other hostess, who is also a friend of the Lions of St. Thomas, Chief Justice, with her 50 years of sterling contribution to the Lions Club of St. Thomas.
Just for you to know that Marcy was the next speaker and joined the movement as a leader. Back in the days, he was joined as a lioness. How things and times have changed. Yeah. The main event has taken place. So we are now at the vote of thanks, which we will ask Lion Laura Levy, second Vice President, to do the vote of thanks. And Gregory, please come and receive something on behalf of your daughter. Can we just sing?
Need to observe the protocol established earlier. Masters of Ceremony, past District Governor, Lion Earl Lee, Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow, and Mrs. Norma Brown Bell, ODJP, a veteran radio broadcaster at the Radio Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to offer the vote of thanks this evening as the Lions Club of St. Thomas celebrates 50 years of service. This evening is a moment to reflect on the incredible contributions of our Lions Club and the positive impact we have made on our community and by extension our parish. First and foremost, let me express my deepest gratitude to our wonderful Masters of Ceremony, past District Governor, Lion Earl Lee, Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow, Errol, sorry, Errol, and I do have Errol here. So don't twist me, I have the right. I got and Mrs. Norma Brown Bell. They played a crucial role in keeping things running smoothly and ensuring the event was engaging and enjoyable for all. Do you agree with me? Yes. Their warm introductions and confident presence truly set the tone for the evening. We are especially grateful for the excellent flow of the program and the engaging way they interacted with the audience. And we got the quote, I love that quote, sir. And I wish I can get at the end of the meeting. And I know all of us should get that quote as well. And we try to memorize it. Thank you so much, Masters of Ceremony, for all your hard work. We hope to have the opportunity to have you with us some other time soon. Let me express deepest gratitude to our guest speaker, Chief Justice of Jamaica, Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Sykes, OJ, CD, for taking the time to be with us. We are deeply grateful for your valuable insight and expertise. I particularly appreciated your insight commentary on the justice system, efficiency of the parish court, less backlog, which is a remarkable improvement. Put your hands together. It's good to know that our justice system will be the first ISO certified in the region, not just the Caribbean, but in Latin America. Your presentation was highly informative and engaging, and we are very grateful for your contribution to our Lions Club 50th anniversary. Thank you again for your time, your effort, and willingness to share your knowledge with us. We hope that you will enjoy your time with us, or that you are enjoying your time with us, just as much as we're enjoying having you. Thank you once again, sir, for your excellent presentation, and we wish you well in your future endeavors. And we heard about that sharp intellect, and we could see that come out, isn't that so? I'd like to express heartfelt thanks to our members, past and present, whose dedication and hard work have brought us to this significant milestone. Your commitment to be served has truly made a difference. A special thank you to the organizers of this event, especially the standing committee, for all of their tireless efforts in making this evening a memorable celebration. Your attention to details and dedication are greatly appreciated. We are also deeply grateful to our sponsors and donors who have generally supported our projects and initiatives. Your generosity allows us to continue serving our community effectively. To a special guest, thank you for joining us this evening and sharing this special occasion. I heard our dear Madam Michelle McIntosh, Harvey. She called some names earlier on. And this is why I said protocol probably to observe both, because she named the different persons who are here with us from the different Lions Club. The presidents and the past, and other persons who serve. We do not take it for granted. We are happy that you could take time out this evening to share with us here in St. Thomas in this celebratory mood. We had persons who had to leave earlier, and the judges Sahai, Maxwell, and her husband, Justice Courtney Maxwell. We're happy to have them share with us too. To all our guests, your presence adds to the celebration and inspires us to continue serving with passion. To the media, TVJ, we're happy to have you. Without the media then, we won't have anything to look back and down the years, isn't that so? And we hope that we'll have all those photographs back down the years. Finally, let me be mindful, let us be mindful, that over the past 5 decades, Our Lions Club has touched countless lives through our service projects. Looking ahead, I'm filled with optimism about the future of our Lions Club. A future filled with continued service, community involvement, and unwavering spirit. Let us continue to embrace our Lions Club motto of we serve and to make a difference in the parish and by extension the world. Thank you very much.
You know, sometimes when you hear the thanks, you're thinking, now, who did she leave out? And here we are, you left out nobody. So, give her a round of applause. Welcome. I hold in my hand a little piece of paper with a license plate on it, 2465FN. It's a silver Honda. It's the most troublesome little silver Honda car in the whole world. We've been getting this same license plate that it is blocking somebody who needs to leave from before Justice I start to talk. You know, how long that is. Okay. And another one has joined the party. 0385KE. This one is a white Honda. I don't know. Hold on to your tickets, however. We're not sending you home empty-handed. We're going to be from the gate prize, which is not a Honda. We're giving you a chance, however, if you prove any of these two, please go out and see what the problem is, because the notes keep coming to us. Get right. Okay. Make sure you shake up the thing. Okay. Yes. It's Jablon Coffee, and the winner is Laura Beebe. Oh, lovely. Show me the last one. Their upcoming event. Change of region chair.
Confirm the venue today. So Saturday, put it in your diaries, 1 o'clock. We're going to have our final regional meeting.